Welcome to Nasir Soft. This is the web developing with PHP and MySQL tutorial series, and this video will show you the overview of PHP. In this video, we will talk about the PHP, its use, the purpose of PHP, and its end applications. So first of all, what is PHP? PHP is an acronym for Hypertext Preprocessor. PHP is a server scripting language and a powerful tool for making dynamic and interactive web pages. PHP is widely used, free and efficient alternative to competitors such as Microsoft ASP.NET. Fast, flexible and pragmatic, PHP powers everything from your blog to the most popular website in the world. PHP 7 is the latest stable release. What is PHP file? Okay, PHP files can contain text, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP code. So inside the PHP project or file, we can write HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, and more code. Okay, PHP code is executed on the server. Basically, PHP is server-side language. So PHP code is executed on the server side, and the result is returned to the browser as plain HTML. PHP files have extension of .php, for example, program.php, test.php, etc. So why we use PHP? What is the purpose of PHP? So PHP runs on various platforms, that is Windows, Linux, Unix, Mac, OS X, etc. Okay, so PHP runs on various platforms, so it is very easy to deploy. So therefore we choose PHP. Okay, it is not operating system dependent. Okay, PHP is compatible with almost all servers used today, that is Apache, IIS, etc. PHP supports a wide range of databases. PHP is free and open source. We can download the PHP from the official PHP site, that is php.net. PHP is easy to learn and run efficiently on the server side. Okay, so what can PHP do? PHP can generate dynamic web pages content. Okay, PHP can create, open, read, write, delete, and close files on the server. PHP can collect form data, and we can perform various operations by using the PHP code on the form data. For example, when on the form data we collect the data from the user, that is user first name, last name, and extra, and we work on that and store inside the the database by using PHP code, and we can perform many actions on that data. Okay, and in this course we will learn about when we working on the project. Okay, so I will then tell you all the things about the PHP can do. PHP can stand and receive cookies. So what are cookies? Cookies are basically in separate slide we will talk about the cookies in more detail. Cookies are just like a cache that is used for the browser, for example Google Chrome, Firefox, and so on. Okay, this is used to collect the user interest. Okay, for example, if you visit a shopping site and you did some shopping, okay, then the browser collect the data that this user ABC have done this shopping, and next time when you visit that site, then it will show you the suggestion items. Okay, just reading the cookies. So this is the purpose of cookies. PHP can add, delete, modify data in your database. PHP can be used to control user access. PHP can encrypt data. Okay, so the latest PHP is that is PHP 7, and PHP 7 is much faster than the previous popular stable release, that is PHP 5.6. PHP 7 has improved error handling. Okay, and in PHP 7 it's posed this strict type declaration. Okay, for example, if we declare an variable that is integer, data type that is string data type, and so on, so in PHP 7 we can declare it that that variable is integer and this variable is for example string and so on. In previous version we cannot declare the variable data type. Okay, we will talk about it in later slide. So now let's talk about the PHP syntax. A PHP tags can be placed anywhere in HTML tags or between in HTML tags. Okay, so the basic PHP tag is, this is the HTML tag, and inside the HTML body, okay, this is the heading, and here starting tag of PHP and ending tag of PHP, and between these starting and ending tags we write the code of PHP. Okay, so here in this scenario we just echo means we just display, okay, or print the message that is hello world. Okay, so when we execute this code, then it will show you my first PHP pages and hello world message. Okay, so the PHP syntax is very simple. This is the PHP starting tag and PHP ending tag. At between here we can code anything which we want. Okay, or the tags that are used is this one. Okay, this is the most popular tags, and in this course I will use these tags. Okay, or you can also use this tag. This is the starting, this is the ending, and between the starting and ending your PHP code will be. So now the exercise is, which statement is used to display messages. Okay, for example, if you want to show some messages to the user, then which tag in PHP will be used. Okay, so the tags is very simple. The first tag which we talked just a slide before, and the tag is echo. Okay, or another tag we can use, that is print. Okay, example is this one, echo messages, or print Nasir soft, and the print have the, we can write parentheses, inside the parentheses the messages. Okay, so what are the comments in PHP? A comment in PHP code is a line that is not executed as a part of the program. Its only purpose is to be read by someone who is looking at your code. Okay, so comments are the line which is not executed in the PHP. Okay, but the PHP compiler is not executed this line, but these line are just for meaningful when someone read your code. Okay, and inside these comments you tells the reader about the purpose of this code. Okay, and this is very coder friendly. So we can comment because let others understand your code, remind yourself of what you did. Most programmers have experience coming back to their own work a year or 2 years later and having to refigure out what they did. Comments can remind you of what you were thinking when you wrote the code. So hope you understand. So the comments is very simple, by two consecutive forward slash. Okay, so this is the comment. After that the forward slash of two, we can write anything, and this is not executed by the PHP compiler. This is a single line comment, for example, or with the hash sign after the hash we can write anything, then it goes into the comment. On the third is when we want a group of lines to comments. The one purpose is the one method is just at the start of each line write this one, or you can write the forward slash, then the static icon, then all these lines goes which you want to be in comment. Okay, write this line, and after that then the static and forward slash, then this is the starting point of the comment, this is the ending point of the comment, and between all the lines goes into the comments. So this is the third method of writing comments. So we can write comments by consecutive to forward slash. We can write comment by just a static sign before the lines which we want to goes into the comment, or we can comment by just, if we want to the group of lines in the same way. Okay, so the forward slash, then static, and static forward slash, or between these all lines or code are goes into the comments. So these are the three methods to write a comments in PHP. Okay, so what are the variables in PHP? Variables or containers for storing informations. In PHP, variable always start with $sign. No need to declare data type in PHP variables. Okay, so in PHP, before the PHP 7, there is we can not declare the data type of the PHP variable. For example, this variable is integer and this variable is string and so on. But in PHP 7, we can write, we are not strict to write, but we can write the data type before the variables. For example, this variable is integer or this variable is string. But if we not write, then the PHP compiler understand that this based on the value of the variable, that this variable is integer. Okay, and I assume that you know about the data type. The integer data type are these types, okay, which store the value like integer 1 2 3 4 5 6 and so on. And the string data type is a type which stores the string. For example, this variable is a string. Okay, this container is a string, for example, this one. Okay, so it automatically decided which data type is based on the value. In PHP 7, we can declare the data type. Okay, so exercise is, now it's your turn. Declare two variables, okay, and assign them some numbers, and add both of the values and store inside the third variables the result and display the output. Okay, so this is very simple. So hope you will do in your own, but I will show you. Okay, so let's see in the code. So first we declare the two variables and store some value, and add the both variables and store the result in the third variable and display the output. Okay, so this is my code. Okay, empty file, and first I declare the PHP variables that is starting from this tag and ending from this tag. So between these tag, this is my PHP. We can write the PHP code. Okay, the starting code, the ending code, and between that we work on the code. So first I just save this file in the right position in my server htdocs inside the XAMPP. Okay, so I just save the file and go to the right place, that is that where I install the XAMPP, that is the web server, inside the C, and then the XAMPP, and inside the XAMPP the htdocs folder. Here I write a new program that is, for example, my underscore program dot, the extension is PHP. Okay, or you can here, if you not write here the dot PHP, just select the save type as a PHP, and this is dot PHP. Okay, save, and you will see that the my program is saved inside the, if I go to the directory inside my computer, C, XAMPP, htdocs, and here the my program, but the its extension is not, its extension is file. Okay, not PHP. So why this happening? I again go to and save as, and here my program, and write the extension with the my program. Now save the file, and again if I go to this one, now the new one my program is created and is file extension is PHP file. So I delete the old one. Okay, and here work on this one. Okay, so this is the PHP tag starting tag, and this is the PHP ending tag, and between the PHP tags I work in PHP code. So first I declare a variable. So a variable is always stored with a $sign, and the first variable is named as, for example, first underscore variable. You can name it anything you want. Okay, so I just name the first variable as a first variable and save inside the value that is, for example, 10. Okay, so same, I declare a second variable and the variable start with the dollar sign, and I name it second underscore variable. The value, for example, is 15. Okay, so we have two variable, the first variable and the second variable, and the first variable have the value that is 10 integer value, and second variable that is 15. Okay, so the value is integer, just remove this string. Okay, so now I declare a third variable, dollar sign, and then variable name third variable. I name it third variable, and inside the third variable I sum up the both variables, that is first variable and plus second variable. Okay, and these first add or plus both variable and store the result in third variable, and now I show the message or show the value of third variable, okay, through echo. Save the file. Okay, and now we call in browser this my program.php file. So just call the localhost and the call that file, and you will see that 10 plus 15, that is equal to 25, and when we show the variable then its value is 25, so it's showing us the 25. So hope you will understand. So in this example we declare the two variables and assign them some numbers, and we add the both variables value and store inside the third variable, and then we display the third variable. Okay, and you see that the result is 25. Okay, so the PHP variable scope. So what are the PHP variables scope? In PHP, variables can be declared anywhere in the script. The scope of variable is the part of the script where the variable can be reference used. PHP has three different variable scope. The first is local, second is global, and third is static. Okay, so what is the difference between the global versus local scope? So this is clear. Outside a function has a global scope and can only be accessed outside a function. For example, this is a PHP code and we declare a variable x and its value is 5. Okay, a function that is my test, and inside the function, okay, when we echo that variable x and we call that function. Okay, our program flow is start from here. First it declare a variable and store 5 inside the variable value. Okay, then this function will be called, and when this function is called, then the this shows the inside the p tag, okay, that is paragraph tag, the variable x inside the function is and the variable x value, and we after executing this function we also echo the variable x outside the function, and you will see that it shows us the error that the x is invisible inside the function, it's only visible outside the function. Okay, you will see it. So that is the global and local scope. So a variable declared within a function has a local scope and can only be accessed within that function. So it's very simple. In previous example, if we talk about this one, then if we declare a variable inside the function, that it is a local variable and only be accessed or visible inside the function, and when we want to echo that variable outside the function, then it is invisible outside the function. Okay, so the local scope is only accessible inside the function, and the global scope is visible outside the function. Okay, so this is called, and if we talk about this PHP code, then my test, and inside the my test function we declare a variable that is x and its value is 5. This is the local scope, and if we want to echo that variable, then it's only be visible inside the function. Okay, so the first output of this execution is variable x inside the function is 5, and when we want to execute this variable outside the function, then it shows it generates an error. So basically this x is only visible inside the function, not outside the function. So hope you will understand. Okay, so outside is not visible. So what is global scope? For example, we have a variable a and its initial value is 10. Okay, and this is a function that is represented by a circle, okay, oval shape, and the function is test, and its scope is, for example, this oval shape. Okay, and a basically is a global scope, so a is visible inside the function and outside the function when we declare a as a global. Okay, and what is global keyword? In the next slide I will tell you. When we declare a global word before a variable, then its scope is global and it is visible outside and inside the function. Okay, so local scope is, for example, this is a function test, and inside a function test body we have a variable a and its value is 10. It is only inside this function, is only visible inside this function. Okay, so a is not visible outside the function, so a is only visible inside the function. Basically its scope is local and only visible within the function. So let's see it practically, what is global and what is a local scope of a variable. So before going in practically example, okay, let's understand the global keyword in PHP. So keyword is used to access a global variable from within a function. So global keyword is used to access a global variable from within a function. To do this, use the global keyword before the variable inside the function. For example, we have a function and it's inside its scope, the variable is x is equal to 10. Okay, so x is now a local variable and it's only visible inside the function which I talked earlier. Okay, so when we want to echo x outside the function, then it shows us the error. Basically x is only visible inside the function, not outside the function. Okay, so if we want to echo or print the x outside the function, or if we want to a scenario where x is visible outside the function, then we declare a global word before the x. Okay, now it is visible outside the function as well. So this is the global keyword works. Now we check how it is works practically. So for example, in this example, in the previous example, that is first variable, second variable and third variable, here I remove this line, okay, and this equal line too, and I declare a function and its name is, for example, test, and inside its body here I declare a variable that is dollar sign and var 1. Okay, for example, and its value is 10. Okay, so now, and I remove these two variables too. Okay, so we have a function test and inside the function a variable var1 and its value is 10. Okay, when I echo this variable 1 outside the function, now you will see that it shows me nothing. Basically var is only visible inside the function, not outside the function. If I save the file, Control S, and go to the browser, refresh the link, then you will see that it shows me the undefined variable notices. Basically it is not visible outside the function. Okay, so if I want that variable var1 is visible inside and outside the function, then I make it global. So this is very simple. Before the variable, just write global keyword. Okay, save the file. Now it is variable 1 var1 is now converted to a global variable, and now its scope is within the function and outside the function. If I save the file and go back to the browser and refresh the link, now you will see that it shows me the parcel error. Okay, so basically the error comes when we declare a global, then we here, for example, in the next line I assign the value 1 to the global variable. Okay, so now I save the file and go back to the browser and refresh the link. So outside the function here, I declare a variable var1, okay, and assign the value that is equal to, for example, 10. And inside the function, when I want to access its value inside and outside the function, I just declare it global, and the variable is var1. Okay, so now the var1 is visible inside. Okay, let's see it. And here, change the value var1 to something else, 11 for example. So now basically the var1 is global variable, okay, and its value is visible inside and outside the function. If I call that function, that is test, okay, now you will see that when in our execution, for first it assign the var1 10 value, and then it execute this function, and the scope is changed of var1 is to global. So now it is accessible inside and outside the function, okay, and now it update the var1 to 11, and it's also updated the outside the value of now var1 shows the 11. So when I save the file, go to the browser, and here go to the browser and refresh the link. Now you will see that the value is updated to 11. Basically we declare a var1 variable global variable, okay. So for example, if I not update this line, just commit this line and save the file, now the value is 10, and it is accessible outside the function and inside the function as well. If I echo inside the function and all outside the function, then 10 is repeated 2 times, you will see, okay. Again go to the browser, refresh the link, 10 10. So it's mean that when we declare a variable global, then it is accessible inside or outside the function. Or if I just remove these lines, okay, and this function too, okay, so I just, okay, for example, I call the function, and inside the function I just echo that variable that is declared outside the function. Now it shows me the error. You will see that basically this is the local variable scope inside the function, and it is not accessible inside the function, okay. If I again go to the browser and refresh the link, then it shows me the notice undefined variable var in line 7, and it shows outside the function, but inside the function it shows me the error. So basically var is not accessible inside the function, it's only be visible outside the function, okay. So to do a variable that is accessible everywhere in this project execution, then make it global, okay. So hope you will understand what is global keyword and how it works. So what is static keyword in PHP? Normally when a function is completed, executed, all of its variable are deleted. However, sometimes we want a local variable not to be deleted. We need it for a further job. So when we want a variable is not deleted throughout the execution, then we make it static. Okay. To do this, use the static keyword before that variable. For example, this is the PHP code, and inside the PHP code, here, this is a function that name is myTest, and inside the myTest function, we declare a variable x and make it static and assign it a value of 0 initially, and then echo the value of x, and after that increment of variable x by 1. Okay, so for example, first time my execution occur, and I just call this function myTest first time, and my execution goes to that function and declare a variable x, assign it a value 0, and echo the value that is 0. So first time it shows me the 0, and then increment the value x by 1, and the next time the x's value is 1. Okay, so first time when this function is executed, so it initially set the value of x to 0 and increment the x by 1, and now in input the value is 0 showing. By the next time, then when the function is called, then initially the value is now 1. Okay, basically static is now again it's initialized is 0 but the value is 1. Okay, so now this shows 1 and then increment the next time is 2, so the output will be 0 1 and 2. Sorry. Okay, so hope you will understand. So when this function is called again and again, then it not every time initiate the value by 0, but the value of x, that is increment by 1, is constant. And when so the next time the value, when we increment in the value, then the value is set not 0 but its previous state, that is 1 then 2 then 3 and so on. Okay, so hope you will understand why the static keyword is used. And inside when the when we declare a variable static, then it is not deleted when the scope is goes outside the function. Okay, for example, in this example, if we remove the static keyword before that x variable, and we execute the same in the same pattern and call that function, then the value is, for every time the value is 0 then 0 then 0. Okay, so when we declare a variable static, then its value, the variable scope is not deleted when the execution is goes outside the function. So when the x value is 1 in this scenario, then x is kept 1, whether in the second turn when we again execute the function, then it not update the x to again 0. Basically x value is remains the its previous state. So this static keyword is used for that purpose, when we need a local variable not to be deleted. So hope you will understand. Okay, so if you have any questions, just copy and paste this line of code in your PHP code and execute the PHP file. Then you will see that the output of this program is 0, will be 0 1 and 2. Okay, so let's move to the next slide, that is data types in PHP. PHP supports the following data types and many more. Okay, so in this slide I just named it the popular one, that is string, integer, float or double, boolean, array, objects. Okay, and PHP null variables. So if we talk about the string, a string is a sequence of characters like hello world. In hello world there is a sequence of character. Okay, so this is called a string. Integer, non-decimal number between -2 147 483 648 and 2147 483 647. So between these range any number, any integer, sorry, integer number, non-decimal number is called an integer. So float is a number with decimal point or a number in exponential form, for example 2.43 and so on. So boolean, a boolean represents two possible states, that is true and false. An array store multiple values in one single variable. For example, an array named is cars, and the array keyword is used when we declare a variable an array, and it's inside the 0 index, that is Volvo, inside the 1 index, that is BMW, and inside the 2 index, uh, that is Toyota. Okay, so these are the indexings of this array. So this is the example of an array, and this is one dimensional array. There are also two dimension array in PHP or multi-dimension array. Okay, so this is called the index array that have one dimension. Objects, an object is a data type which stores data and information on how to process that data. And in the next tutorial we will work and learn the object oriented PHP. And in this object oriented PHP I will teach you what is the classes and how to create an object of the class, then you will understand about that point. Okay, so PHP null value is a special data type which can have only one value, that is null.